Hello everybody, my name is Nate the Great here, and I'm going to show you the guide for Black Mage 4.0 rotation. Now this is a newer video because the older one was outdated because of the patch notes that they did. Now I'm sorry this is a little late, but between raiding and Final Fantasy XII, it's a little late, sorry about that. But to go through what the patch notes actually did, if you play Black Mage you would surely already notice it. Foul no longer takes MP, it's now free MP. Which wasn't really that big of a deal, but fire is also reduced MP, so you no longer can have that tricky 0 MP anymore because fire is now reduced MP. The biggest, most helpful one is Blizzard 4 and Fire 4 have reduced cast timers, which is needed in order to do the 3 Fire 4 rotation, because they did a spell speed nerf. About a day after I released my that rotation video, they did a spell speed nerf on it. So everything was a lot wonky and really weird, but now with the reduced cast times on your Fire 4, Blizzard 4, you no longer have to worry about that. So, as usual, I'm going to be doing this in snippets because I'm really bad at recording things. I've never been good at recording. So, I did pop food because my spell speed isn't at 1200, it's at like 1180. It's not that big of a deal, I'm just not built properly, because I've been going as Red Mage for the raids. But it's 1200 spell speed, best in slot will probably be 1300 spell speed, but that's not determined yet. So enough of me talking, I'm going to go right into the rotations. There's actually only one opener. There's no longer the fire opener, it's now just the Blizzard 3 opener. There's no longer a fire one, so there's only one opener, but after that I will show you set in stone the base rotation of a Black Mage. So I will be right back. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you the Blizzard opener. Now this is the only opener, since they did do an update to the MP changes on fire, this is the only opener that actually works. The other fire opener does no longer work anymore. It's exactly the same thing as the previous Blizzard opener, except it's easier to be done and you can get your Fire 4s off much easier because of the lower cast timers. Now, if you're in a dungeon, you probably have to swift cast Blizzard 3 because tanks never use a pull timer. Never ever in dungeons. But if you aren't in a dungeon and the tank's being nice and using a pull timer, you start casting around 4 seconds, but not at 4 seconds, as it's 3.5 seconds to cast Blizzard 3. So I'm going to put a countdown up just because, to show you how it's like, to what you should be doing when you see the pull, because you don't want early pulls, but you don't want a late pull either. So I'm going to put down a 10-second timer. Most will be 15 because of a ninja, but we're going to have a 10-second because we're not a ninja. So we're going to do that. Once it hits 5 seconds, we'll pop Diversion. Boom. Blizzard 3. We're going to pop a no key until we get that 5% damage buff. Thunder 3. Blizzard 4 into Fire 3. Triple cast. Fire 4. Sharp cast. Another Fire 4. Another Fire 4. Ley lines. Fire 1. Since we got a Thunder Cloud, we're going to pop that Thunder Cloud. Into 3 Fire 4s. Going to do that Fire 3 proc that we have. Convert. 2 more Fire 4s. Blizzard 3. We're going to cast Foul. Blizzard 4. Ooh, we got a Thundercloud proc. You would hard cast Thunder 3 if you didn't have a Thundercloud proc there. Back into 3 Fire 4s. And this is literally it. No more work to it. This is now the set rotation for Black Mage. You're going to get 3 Fire 4s off every time. Anytime you get a Fire Starter proc, you want to use that Fire proc. Again, we are never ever going to be casting Thunder 3 in our fire rotation because it takes precious time away from us to cast Fire 4. Only time you ever want to hard cast Thunder is if you're in Umbral Ice. If you're not in your Umbral Ice, you don't hard cast Thunder. Only time you cast Thunder is if you have a Thundercloud proc like I do now. But again, you only want to use that Thundercloud proc if the timer is below 15 seconds. If it's not below 15 seconds, it's not worth casting. Or if a mechanic is about to happen and you need to move, then yeah, you should use a Thundercloud, so you can still do damage while you're moving. Also, if you can tell, I haven't been able to use Swiftcast yet, because there's really no point of using Swiftcast in your main rotation. Swiftcast is still only used as a oh shit moment, I need to do a mechanic. Other than that, this is all you gotta do. Again, you need 1200 spell speed in order to use this rotation. Any less, you're gonna have a little difficult time with it. But yeah, this is literally it. Try to time, you don't have to necessarily use triple cast as soon as it's up. Try to save it for times where like a mechanic's going to happen and you actually need to move, and then you could save it for that. But again, you also have Swiftcast. Swiftcast isn't part of your rotation anymore. It's more of a, oh crap, I need to do this mechanic moment. If anything, you can probably just use Swiftcast to Thunder 3 if you really want to. Other than that, it's more of a, if you need to do a mechanic, you can Swiftcast and do a mechanic. I'm gonna finish off this last rotation, and I'll probably get on to my nitpickiness or extra information on what to do. And that's pretty much it. I shall take a cut right here, and I'll be back to tell you guys my little nitpickiness about Black Mage and Prepper, use of him, blah blah. So I'll be back. Okay, and we're back. So, pretty much, it's the same rotation you used to do before the patch, except it's a lot easier, you got a lot more elbow room to move around and do mechanics. 1200 spell speed is the lowest I think you should be at in order to have enough elbow room. It gives you 2.5 seconds in order to recast fire without losing your astral fire. So meaning you can run out of an AoE, dodge a mechanic, and cast fire without losing astral fire. Before, it was if you moved for even half a second, you lost astral fire because you couldn't recast it. Now you have a lot more elbow room. I believe best in slot will be 1300 spell speed. Don't quote me on that. That's not set in stone. I think 1300 will give you enough time to do mechanics and have enough uptime to run around with a chicken with its head cut off, pretty much. So yeah, I mean, it's the exact same rotation. 6 Fire 4s, Umbral Ice. Use Foul and Umbral Ice unless the boss is about to jump away. Don't use Foul and Astral Fire. It takes away time from your fire rotation. So if you have to do a mechanic while you're in Astral Fire, if you cast Foul, you won't have time to cast Fire 1, and then you just lost the Fire 4s. You can occasionally probably Swift cast Foul. You could probably Swift cast Foul if you really need to. Other than that, I don't think you should be using Foul and Fire and Astral Fire. Try to keep it mostly in Umbral Ice, except like if you're going to overlap on Foul, obviously you want to cast a Foul instead of a Fire 4. Foul is pretty much a guaranteed direct hit Fire 4. Guaranteed. I've seen my Foul hit for 30k, which is really good. But yeah, just keep your 6 Fire 4 rotation. Same rule applies, never ever hardcast Thunder 3 while in Astral Fire. It takes away MP and it takes away time. You should only hardcast Thunder 3 while in Umbral Ice. Thundercloud in Astral Fire only if the timer is below 15 seconds. If it's not below 15 seconds, don't hit that. Try to save it for when you're in Umbral Ice. If you're going to lose it before you go to Umbral Ice, try to cast it before you lose it. Or, if a mechanic's going to happen and you have Thundercloud proc, obviously use a Thundercloud proc before the mechanic happens. Or when you're moving around Thundercloud. Other than that, yeah, Black Mage is still fucking monstrous hitting monster. Only problem is with him, he is still very much a turret. He doesn't want to run around as much. I mean, we do have in between the lines, which is really nice, but Black Mage is still a turret. You don't want to try to run around very much. I mean, with the help of triple cast, It does make things easier. Same with Between the Lines. It makes things easier. But we're still a turret. We don't want to run. Swift Cast is still used for emergency bases. We don't want to keep using that willy-nilly. We kind of want to save it for mechanic. Between the Lines will be your anchor, pretty much. Especially for A3S. O3S. That's a fun fight. But yeah, Black Mage is still monster. I think that's all I have. This video is obviously a lot shorter than the last because that one had 2 openers in it. This one is just the single opener now. The triple AoE, the triple flare, is still exactly the same. You just Blizzard 3, Thunder 4. Remember to pop a Nokian. You're gonna do that. Triple cast, flare, flare, convert, flare, transpose. You got a thundercloud, we'll use that. And that's it. That's still your monster AoE. Of course, you would use foul once it comes up. But that's your monster triple flare AoE opener. Which you probably should never be doing unless there's like 8 or more enemies. Because most times if you have another, the party of 4, you won't ever get off triple flare. Usually I'll just do double flare. Since triple cast has been reduced to 60 seconds, you can do a double flare. I wouldn't waste convert, save that for an opener on a boss. I can usually get a double flare off because what you could do is you can just transpose, then that last triple cast Blizzard 3, and then Thunder 4. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know. If you know a different opener or different rotation, also please let me know. I'm willing to try anything. I play Black Mage religiously, obviously. But I think that's all I have, so I will see you guys later. Thanks. Bye-bye!